Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill and a special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man with Jerome.
What's up there?
Man, another day.
Absolutely.
Man, we've been off the live air for a couple of weeks.
It's been a minute, man, so I'm excited about being live and in living color.
Living color. So we need to say welcome. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching our shows on the reruns. Just, sometimes it's like that, man.
Yes.
Just a lot of things was going on at the same time. But welcome to Facebook.
Always.
Facebook Live.
Yes.
Remember, you guys can call in, answer questions. You guys have the privilege that no one else does.
That's exactly right.
I don't know why y'all don't take advantage of that.
I don't understand it. They're free legal advice.
Because I'm telling you, if you call my office and say, I saw you on the air, I just got one question, I'm going to say, why you didn't call me on the air?
That's right.
Because my office ain't going to even let you get back to me.
And the other thing, too, is you get a chance to get two slices of the pie.
Oh yeah,
rather than
2 for
the
one.
Yeah,
oh man, two for one. So again, welcome to Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube, man, I forgot. Welcome to YouTube. Now we're doing YouTube Live.
That's right.
Which is a great thing. So welcome to YouTube Live. If you're looking at Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, you can also see us on those channels also. So welcome to Little Rock.
Yes.
Welcome to West Memphis. Welcome to Shelby County. Welcome to Mississippi. And Mom, welcome to the great state of Missouri.
Hey, Mom. All right.
Hey, look, Jerome, I want to talk about something, man, that, it's near and dear to my heart. The thing is, and I'm going to start back doing them now because the weather has changed. I'm not the weather. But the COVID has now calmed itself down. But what's near and dear to my heart, man, is getting your affairs in order.
I like that, Dan.
Wills and powers attorneys. Those are near and dear to my heart.
I absolutely like that, particularly in our community, because for some reason or another, we don't believe we're gonna check out.
Man, black folk don't die, man. Black folk, man, I ain't never met a black person that tell me they're gonna die.
Live forever.
Ever.
But that's in the by and by. We talking about right here on this earth.
Yeah. You
don't leave out of here but one way.
Yeah. And the thing, and it's kind of sad, but a lot of black people, and we have what they call dirty land.
Yes.
Because a lot of black people, man, will not get their affairs in order, and then what ends up happening is, granddaddy had 10 kids, and they were cool. They weren't cool as a fan, but they were cool. But then granddaddy's kids had 30 kids. When granddaddy died...
Wait a minute there. Wait a minute. Granddaddy had 10 kids, and they were not all in a marriage.
Yeah, and they wasn't all cool.
So he had a bunch of... Some of them were outside kids.
Yeah.
And you think that you can cut them out because they're outside kids. Yeah. And the law says what?
They get a 1/10 share of the property.
Exactly right.
So if granddaddy doesn't have a will, what ends up happening is that property is owned by granddaddy's 10 kids.
Oh my goodness.
Well, so then they end up owning the property. Don't nobody want to do nothing. Then they start dying off, and they had, 8 or 10 kids between them each. Now there's another 30, 40, 50 kids that now also has ownership in that property. And nobody wants to pay. Nobody wants to turn their interest to somebody else because they think they're going to lose some money.
That's right.
So now it's dirty land. The only way that land is ever going to be taken care of is going to be lost in a tax sale.
That's exactly right.
And that's what happened. A lot of black people have lost land and property in tax sales because family members say, I'm not going to pay any taxes. and I'm not going to take care of anything.
And I'm going to live there and not pay anything to help keep it up.
I'm going to live there. I wish you would. Ain't nothing you're going to do about it until Uncle Sam take it for tax sales, and then So I said all that to say this: the one thing that you got to do is get your affairs in order.
And that's wonderful, because there is a remedy even for that mess that you just described.
It is.
And that is like you say,
a will.
Just take care of your business.
Yeah, I mean, a simple will. But I want to go back even before a will, though, Jerome.
Okay.
That is, I can't tell you how many people have come to my office and say, I need a power of attorney for my mama. Where your mom at? Was she in the nursing home? You can't get a power of attorney for your mother and she in a nursing home.
I see the same thing there.
Your mother, and people don't understand what a power of attorney is. A power of attorney is, I am making you my attorney. I am making you me.
That's right.
This is a document that says, once you sign it and get it notarized, I am saying to all people that read this document that Jerome Payne is now me.
That's exactly right.
So Jerome Payne...
It's as if you put a mask on.
You put a mask on.
and now you got a picture of Daryl O'Neal, because that's what I can do. Anything that Daryl O'Neal can do.
Anything that Daryl could do, Jerome can do.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, that's important, because if you start having mental issues...
That's right.
The only way you can get somebody to do these things is through a conservatorship.
That's exactly right.
And that is an absolute nightmare.
Oh, man.
And it's extremely expensive.
That's exactly right.
And check this out. A power of attorney is, for my office, is probably cheaper than anywhere you can get it, $150. Man, you can get, and all you do is fold it up and put it in a safe.
That's it.
Tell whoever that's your power of attorney, your wife, your children, or whomever it's going to be, where it is, and when the time comes, they can use that, to take care of your affair.
You know what? And that's a wonderful observation. This is not something that you want to hide the ball.
Yeah.
You want to have all your documents in a safe, secure place, and in fact, you could actually store it in probate court, couldn't you, there?
There is a provision that you can store them in probate court.
What I thought you could do that.
What you do that I don't do is you record them.
I will if they require it.
Okay.
But I don't record them unless they're certain that there's not going to be a change of heart.
Yeah. You can record them.
Because if you record it, it's going to require an additional step or two.
Yeah.
In order to revoke it.
To revoke it, you're right. I think that makes sense.
Yes.
And again, I'm not a fan of recording them because of recording wills or power of attorney, because at the end of the day, there is these additional steps. Then you changes, pen and ink.
Absolutely.
It's just a lot of stuff that could go wrong with that. But the power of attorneys, man, doing those things or having those things available, I mean, you just can't beat that with a stick.
It just makes sense.
I have one for my wife. My wife has mine.
It just makes sense to do it. But also too, there now. But you've been deployed. How many times you've been deployed?
I've been deployed a number of times.
And look, and you in the war zone.
I'm in the war zone. I've been deployed.
That may not be the same scenario for Joe Jones. You see what I'm saying? So, but Joe needs to think about the fact that. Alzheimer's or dementia or you need to do something where you just not available to do it. It's always a good idea to have your business in order.
And think about it from this perspective, Jerome. The problem happens is when somebody starts to go through Alzheimer's or dementia, or they start having some mental deficiencies, the progression is so slow normally that they don't even realize it's happening. And by the time it has fully happened, it's too late to get these documents in place. I think
you are absolutely correct. But again, sometimes you say it there. You can get 5 lawyers in the room, and you're going to have 5 different opinions. And that's why the people in the black dress tells us what's the fact or not. But I will look at periods of lucidity and determine at that point whether or not this is a power of attorney that I will or will not do. And then I got my witnesses there too. And so we consult to say, is this person too far gone? then no attorney who is trying to do the right thing would do a power of attorney for someone who has lost their ability to recognize themselves, time, place, and self. Because that's how you determine it, in my opinion. There is by doing times 3.
A mental status times 3.
Mental status times 3.
Yeah, and it's the same thing we did in the medical field too. You know, mental status times 3.
Absolutely.
Again, and that is a way, Jerome, and that's a legitimate thought process.
Yes.
Lucidity, right now, means I can do a power of attorney for you or will for you right now.
And that's why I love it so much there too, because that's what's required to prepare a will, is that the person be cognizant of mental awareness times 3. If you can do that, then you can prepare the most important document that will, I mean, it has superpower. It's just, because what? It lives even after you go.
After you go, and it's still around. and you know, here's the funny thing, Jerome, and that's the point. You know, and I'm notorious for saying you put 5 lawyers in a room and get 5 different opinions.
Right.
Shucks, it ain't but 2 of us in here right now.
That's right.
and even at that, I don't. If I know, and I may do too much, Jerome. I may, because again, for me, that is one of the most, that's a gold mine. That is one of the most important documents that exist, in my opinion, for a person that's living and a person that's preparing for the afterlife.
I agree.
And so I won't do it if I have any knowledge that you have Alzheimer's or dementia. I won't do them.
Well, I think
and I'm probably wrong, Jerome.
No. What you did was you added additional facts. Remember, sometimes when we're talking, if you change the fact pattern, the outcome is different. I never said, when I said I'll do lucidity, I never knew or even thought that the person had dementia or Alzheimer's. So you added that fact.
But lucidity, and because lucidity doesn't really matter unless there's something that will cause times of lack thereof. So I mean, why would I care if you're lucid if you don't have some kind of mental defect that says that takes that away from you? You know what I'm saying?
But how do you test for it? I mean, just Joe Blow walks into your office. You don't know him
because they family member talk too much.
Oh, I see. So you picked it up from the family
members.
Because I always separate them from.
I do too.
Family members.
I do.
So I can have that conversation.
Well,
that I feel comfortable with. How you doing, Miss Jones? I'm fine. Okay, so tell me about your children. You know, who is the president of the United States?
You know,
those kinds of questions like that. So I'm having a conversation. For one, I want them to feel comfortable with me, and I want that client to know that whatever we discuss, no one would ever know about it unless you give me permission to divulge it.
Yeah.
And so that's how I determine lucidity. Not that I'm just specifically looking for it to times 3, but I pick it up during the conversation.
Yeah, and I think I do the same thing, Jerome. I mean, because I'm having those conversations, and then I even ask them, why are you here?
Okay.
And then, and if they say, well, I don't know why I'm here.
You know what? That's another question I asked.
I don't know why I'm here.
I don't know why she brought me up here. That's a dead giveaway.
Then I say to myself, okay, well, I appreciate your time. And then I let them know that, your mom or dad don't want to do this.
It's a dead giveaway. That's one of the questions I do ask too.
Yeah.
Let's see, how do I ask that question? Well, you know why you're here. You know why you're here. I'm the attorney, and you came to see me for a specific reason. And the person said, well, I want somebody to be over my affairs.
And that's
kind of tells me right there.
Yeah, it does. Because I mean, I do it a little different. I say, now, why are you here to see me today? What did I do today to bring you in my office?
Okay.
I'll mess with you a little bit.
I got you.
And then and if they say, I don't know why I'm here. they told me they wanted me to come see a lawyer. But do you know why? No. Well, I ain't gonna tell you why. I appreciate your time. I'll let them know that you ready to go.
And I agree that if that's the conversation, then they are not ready to see me about doing a power of
Right,
attorney.
right.
But if the conversation is, I know that you're a lawyer and there are some things I want to discuss about my affairs.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Now,
And
that's a different conversation.
That's a different conversation.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now we had that conversation. You know, you tell me that, I'm all in.
Right,
Because I
okay.
mean, now you there for a reason.
That's right.
You know, then I'll ask them. So what is it about your affairs that you want to talk about?
Right, right.
And then they start saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like, okay, well, why is that important?
I got you.
You see, now I'm doing my lucidity conversation because
Yeah.
we engage in each other.
right.
You know, but you know, Jerome, I used to do this. I've done this at your church.
You sure did.
Yeah,
You sure did.
but I used to travel and to different churches and do power of attorneys
Okay.
and wills for people
Okay.
at no charge. And I did that because a church was a place that I could get a mass of people. I could sell a product, and then again, I'm not really selling a product. I'm giving away a product, and letting them know the importance. And I will also do what they call a question and answer sessions with
Right.
those people.
Right.
I've done that at a number of churches where I answer whatever questions, and I say, hey, look, I give a little presentation, and then I talk about wills, I talk about documents, I talk about what you can and what you should not be signing.
That's right.
Man, if somebody tells you, well, this is what it says, even though it may take you a few more minutes, read it. I mean, I don't need you to tell me what it says because I can read.
That's exactly right.
When the one thing it does say in here is you agree to arbitrate. Well, no, I don't agree to arbitrate. Well, if you don't sign that, then we can't do business. I'll see you later.
And so that's a very important point there. Not only about the documents that we're talking about, but any document that requires a signature requires a reading. But also, there is something in the law too that's called how you under stress,
Yeah.
duress,
yeah.
to sign something. In other words, when you are about to get a chance to pull that Lincoln Continental up to the door, you can see it to the door, and they're saying sign on the dotted line with the arbitration clause in there. How many of them will not sign that there when they want to go out there?
Well, and that's the issue.
And the keys are dangling.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue. I want cable TV.
Right.
I need utilities. I need water. I need air. And everybody says you need to sign these documents.
Right.
I need a telephone.
Right.
But in order to get the telephone, you have to sign these documents, say that you agree that you be bound by an arbitration clause. Well, I don't want to agree to that.
Right.
But there is no provision that allows you out of that.
That's right.
So, kind of like, and that's the thing about it. I mean, so when I do those presentations, I try to explain to them, how you fight around those things. Because,
Well, I'm listening there.
yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I mean,
Because look, I need my cell phone. I got to have a cell phone in order to run my practice. So
Yeah.
how do I get around that one?
well, usually what I end up doing, Jerome, and this is one of, I just did this when I bought a car, and they had the little arbitration. I said, man, I don't do that. He said, well, you have to do that. Well, at that particular time, I was under duress. And here's the reason why I was under duress. I was going to give my old car to my daughter.
So I should. Okay.
So I'm going to give her that car.
Right.
And her car had broken down or was on its last
I
leg.
got you.
And if I don't sign this deal right now, she's not going to have a car. I don't need a car because my car was paid for.
Right.
But if I don't sign this deal right now, she's not going to have a car. So what I end up doing is I said, here's what I'm going to do. I signed the document and I put over the top of it that the guy said on the top of it, required to sign this or I would not be able to take the vehicle.
That's good.
I didn't have a decision in
That's
that.
good. I like that.
And I think that there is some case law. There is some case law out there that you can really get away, even if you sign something like, phones and things like that, because the reality, cable, they put things in these contracts and you either sign or you ain't getting cable, and nobody else has that product.
But you know what, and I believe you're absolutely correct, because they understand too that many times people don't read it, or even if you did read it, if you want that cell phone or that car or whatever, you are signing under duress.
Yeah, doctors are now, even you go to a doctor's office, they say at the doctor's office that there's a provision on there now when you sign in to go to a doctor's office, say you agree to arbitrate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Doc, I'm not doing that.
And they're being upheld?
Well, no, I don't think none of these are going to end up being upheld.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that at some point, you fight these and litigate these. But again, the numbers are so small,
right.
Nobody's going to litigate over $100.
That's right.
Or $200. But here's where it bites those doctors and bite all these people that get those arbitration clauses. And this happened to me recently. I was representing a client, and they wanted $10,000. And they sued my client. Wanted $10,000, and my client was like, "Well, I owe some money, but I ain't willing to pay $10,000." I said, "Well, how much you willing to pay?" She said, "Well, $2,000." I said, "I can get you that deal." She said, "Huh? They told me they want to get a judgment for $10,000 and all this other stuff."
Yeah.
I said, "Watch this." So I called the mugs up. I said, my client's willing to pay $2,000 to make this case go away. I'm keeping my ace in the hole, right? My client's willing to pay $2,000 to make this case go away. And now my client ain't gonna accept it. All right, well let's go back to court, and I'm gonna get this case dismissed. What do you mean? I said, do me a favor, turn to page 3 on your document. Go to page 3. You see where that clause where it says arbitration clause? You filed this lawsuit in general sessions. General session doesn't have authority over here. You got to be in arbitration. We'll take the $2,000.
Oh man, that's great.
Again, a lot of times, so if you put that nonsense in there,
great outcome.
You can't collect either.
That's right.
So it cuts you off just like it cut the other person off.
That's exactly right. Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people do not read these documents. I'm talking about lawyers, man. Now the people that are trying to collect, they ain't gonna read it because they want to get that money.
That's right.
But the lawyer that you hired to represent you not reading it is malpractice.
No question about that one.
You got to see that, because that's a loophole to get your client out of a case.
But then all they got to do is come back and then.
No, they got to go to arbitration.
Yeah,
it's too expensive.
It's too expensive to arbitration.
It's too expensive to go. And you never know what the arbitrator is going to do.
And is it binding?
It is binding.
Or non-binding?
It's binding arbitration.
Wow.
And you never know what the arbitration. You don't know what that arbitrator is going to do.
And, and that's why it's. And we talk about it all the time too. That a resolution to a matter that's decided by the parties is much better than one that's forced on the parties.
Yeah. All right, well, John, we didn't finish the wheel, but we're running out of time. It's Debbie giving me the wind it up sign.
That's good. That's good.
So, hey, y'all, look, thank you for watching the show. Next week is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. So we won't be here next week. We'll bring you a show the week after that. And if you got a church event that you want us to come and do a presentation at, let us know.
Absolutely.
Thank you. See you next week.
Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill and a special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
My name is Aiden Smith. I'm 8 years old and I'm Quartet for life.
Hi, Aiden.
Hi, Miss Debbie.
How are you?
Good.
Aiden, What is it about quartet that makes you quartet music for life?
Well, I like the sound of it and I like to play it.
Wow, I know that you have a strong support team. But who's training you?
Well, my cousin Ron, my cousin Ike, and my uncle Bo.
Is there anyone else in your life that motivates you, give you that push to be a great musician?
My mother and my grandmother.
Now, you're such a great musician at 8 years old. Are you playing for a group now?
Yes. Well, my grandma in the group, my mother, and my aunties and my cousin. The group is called the Anointed One.
Outside of music, do you have any other hobbies?
I like to do art. I try to make like something realistic, and I like to play games.
So, can you play a little bit of something for us?
When I go to God in prayer, all my
If you really been with the Jesus, you can't stop talking about him, because some way, somehow, whenever you've been with Jesus, he start making you love better. He start making you walk differently. He start making you see a little differently. Whenever you've been with Jesus, you cannot. Peter and John, you got to be quiet.
Open your mouth. Yes. Yes. Come on. Don't let go. I'm not letting go till you bless me.
Church's virtual broadcasting done right. Let SVP Media install your broadcast platform today and train your media staff. We're installing cameras, streaming device, audio, lighting, video switchers, mixers, and we offer full service video productions. We're located in Memphis, Tennessee, but there's no place in the U.S. too far. We will travel. Reach more people by joining our digital platform, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and SVP Cable TV, and more. Our world is evolving. It's a new day for how we reach the masses. Contact one of our associates today. We're waiting on your call. 901-244-6874. 901-244-6874. Call us today. Church's virtual broadcasting done right.
You know what? In the old time way, they had a little church. In the old time way, they had a little church. They said, can't nobody do me like Jesus. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. Come on, let's have it. Let me just say this. Every Sunday morning, a deacon would read a scripture, another deacon would say a prayer. The preacher would preach God's holy word, and the Spirit began to move everywhere. They were saying,